The bridge of the Vanguard hummed with controlled chaos as Commander Anna Chen studied the tactical display before her. 300 Crythian warships surrounded the besieged colony of New Edinburgh, their crimson hulls glinting like drops of blood against the void. For 6 weeks, the colonists had held out in underground shelters, while the aliens systematically glassed the surface, searching for the human settlements. Jump signature detected, Lieutenant Jackson Torres called from the sensor station, his fingers dancing across holographic controls. "It's them." The entire Third Fleet just dropped out of slipspace. Anna allowed herself the ghost of a smile. The Crythians had made a fatal assumption, the same one every species made when they first encountered humanity. They assumed humans fought like everyone else in the galaxy, honorably, predictably, with centuries-old tactical doctrines that valued ceremony over results. They were about to learn otherwise. "All ships, initiate Protocol Mongoose," Anna commanded, her voice carrying across the command channel to 200 human vessels. "Fire on my mark." The Crythian fleet hadn't even registered the new arrivals. Their sensors, designed to detect conventional drive signatures and energy buildups, were useless against human technology. Humanity had learned hard lessons in the resource wars, lessons about surprise, speed, and the absolute necessity of striking first. Jackson's console erupted with data streams. "Enemy fleet is maintaining siege formation. No evasive maneuvers. No weapons charging. Ma'am, they literally don't know we're here." "How long until they detect us?" Anna asked. "Based on their sensor technology, 14 seconds. But their weapon systems need at least 40 seconds to achieve firing solutions once they do." Anna's smile widened. "Then we have 40 seconds to end this war." The Crythians had conquered 17 species in their expansion across the Perseus Arm. Each time, they'd announced their arrival, demanded surrender, then waited for their enemies to either capitulate or mount a defense. It was the civilized way. The honorable way. The way warfare had been conducted in the galaxy for 10,000 years. Humanity had been part of the galactic community for exactly 8 months. They hadn't read that particular memo. "Weapons free," Anna ordered. The human fleet didn't bother with energy weapons. Lasers and plasma cannons were visible, trackable, and gave your enemy precious microseconds to respond. Instead, humanity had perfected something far more terrifying. Relativistic kinetic kill vehicles, each one a telephone pole-sized tungsten rod accelerated to 97% the speed of light. 3,000 projectiles launched simultaneously from the human fleet, invisible to Crythian sensors until the moment of impact. Each rod carried the kinetic energy of a small nuclear weapon. The laws of physics became weapons of mass destruction. Jackson counted down. Impact in 3, 2, 1. The Crythian fleet simply ceased to exist. 300 warships, each carrying thousands of soldiers, transformed into expanding clouds of superheated plasma in less than a second. The shock waves propagated outward, the electromagnetic pulse scrambling every electronic system within a light second. Even the debris field was dangerous, chunks of hull material traveling at hypersonic velocities, turning the entire combat zone into a lethal shooting gallery. The entire engagement lasted exactly 2.3 seconds. Anna watched the tactical display clear, the red icons representing enemy ships winking out like dying stars. Where moments before a conquering armada had floated, now there was only an expanding debris field and fading energy signatures. "Scan for survivors," she ordered, though she already knew the answer. "Negative contacts." "Commander," Jackson reported, his voice tight with awe. "Complete fleet annihilation. New Edinburgh is secure." The communications console chimed with an incoming transmission from the planet's surface. Governor Martinez appeared on screen, his weathered face streaked with tears. "Commander Chen, we saw it." The whole sky lit up like a second sun. "Are they?" "They're gone, Governor," Anna confirmed. "All of them. You're safe now. How did you—" "We expected a battle, a siege, weeks of fighting." "We're human, Governor," Anna said simply. "We don't fight fair. We fight to win." As the Third Fleet began rescue operations, establishing orbital platforms and deploying aid to the battered colony, the truth of what had happened began spreading across the galactic network. The Crythian Empire, unconquered for 3 millennia, had lost its entire expeditionary fleet without firing a single shot. Other species would call it dishonorable, unsporting, a violation of the unwritten rules of interstellar warfare. They would clutch their tactical doctrines and their elaborate codes of military conduct, horrified at humanity's brutal efficiency, but they would also think twice before threatening human colonies. The message was clear. Humanity didn't negotiate with aggressors, didn't engage in prolonged conflicts, and absolutely didn't give their enemies a chance to surrender before annihilating them. Jackson turned from his console, his expression thoughtful. "Ma'am, the Galactic Council is demanding an explanation. They're calling it a war crime, saying we should have offered terms." Anna's expression hardened. "Tell the Council that humanity tried being peaceful. We tried diplomacy. We tried following their rules." She gestured at the viewport where New Edinburgh's scarred surface was visible below. The Crithians responded by glassing civilian colonies and killing millions of people who couldn't fight back. She stood, her command presence filling the bridge. "We gave the Crithians exactly what they earned, the same mercy they showed our colonists, 0. And if the Council sanctions us, let them try." Anna's smile was cold as the void. "Every species in this galaxy now knows what happens when you attack humanity. We don't posture. We don't threaten. We don't give second chances. We simply erase you from existence before you even know we're there." The Vanguard began its journey back to human space, leaving behind a debris field that would orbit New Edinburgh for centuries, a permanent reminder that humanity had arrived in the galactic arena, and they played by their own rules. In the halls of the Galactic Council, in the war rooms of a dozen empires, military strategists began updating their threat assessments. The entry for humanity was flagged in crimson, marked with a single warning that would be repeated across the galaxy: "Do not engage." Extermination protocol confirmed. Humanity does not accept surrender. The age of honorable warfare was over. The human era had begun, and it was absolutely terrifying. End.